bum 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 bum. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about what I learned from X rank, from getting to X rank, all the S plus, all of that, getting through those rank. What is the big brain strategy? What do you have to do to get that spicy X rank pose? Let's get into it. Also, if you enjoy this video, consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind in the future. Enjoy the video. Alright, so first, before we talk about any of the modes or anything, we're going to talk about weapons. Set yourself off good before you even get into the match, okay? Because if you're starting off losing, then that's not good. You're at a disadvantage. I was going to want to choose some good weapons, okay? Experiment around. Some weapons are better than others, like that's kind of obvious. Some weapons you want to pick, maybe because it has a better special. Some of the variants you want to pick, you know, I mean, you can use anything if you're good enough with it, but like it'll just be better if you have something, like if you have Stingray tower control and you know how to use Stingray, you can just like spat people off tower. That's just one example, you know. Or if you have Inkstorm, you know, like it paints the zone for you, even if you're not on the zone, you know, like that's another example. So you can pick variants on whatever you want to, but obviously you want to choose weapons that you're like pretty good at. If you want to try to get better with the weapons, just, you know, you don't need to play with them in ranked. You can play league or just in turf war. Obviously playing them like on an actual ranked match is better, but it's gonna take a while to like get good at a weapon, like where you're pretty good at it. And I have, and most people have, multiple weapons that I use for either some modes or just every mode. Like I can play a lot of weapons except for, I don't know, splatlings and some snipers, okay? And then there's also some weapons where I'm like really peak at, and then like I'm slaying, but you know, like it just, whatever you're feeling that day. Maybe you're just like sucking at aiming, so then you pick out a tri-slasher or something, you know. Just don't choose those crud butt weapons, you know. You gotta be pretty spicy. I mean, you've probably already got some weapons that you're good at, so let's get on to the higher level shit. Alright, the first mode we're gonna go over is Rainmaker. I don't know why, I just chose it. Now, if you're in Rainmaker, I'm just gonna be honest with you, you're gonna have to be able to carry that Rainmaker. If you suck dick at carrying Rainmaker, then it's not gonna go well, okay? Because if you can carry Rainmaker, that's good. And that's how I got to X rank. Like I just remember playing those matches, I'm like, dude, everyone sucks at carrying Rainmaker. A lot of people will push when there's like 5 seconds left and we're in the lead, and it's like, dude, don't give them a Rainmaker. Like, we just need to hold it. Some good sub weapons for Rainmaker are gonna be probably splat bombs, maybe some auto bombs, because like if the Rainmaker person gets stuck, they're just gonna go down right away, and you can kind of throw them from far away if you're getting pushed back, so it helps. Some good specials are a lot of stuff. Bubbles are okay. The problem is like you can't really use them on defense because then you can just like shoot them, and they're very situational. Inkstorm is okay, maybe like if it's maybe in the beginning or like when it's stopped or something, but quickly the battle's gonna shift away from the spot where the Rainmaker or the Inkstorm is, and people don't know that. Watch out for the barrier. Don't get too close. Okay, don't be a bot. That's kind of a low end move. Just no one hold it. Always want to be shooting, but like unless you're swimming. So it's either you're swimming or shooting. You're not just like sitting there, obviously. Painting, you know, you want to be painting turf with it, but just know when to advance, know when to possibly back up. You don't need to have sneaky do, like, you know, big 10,000 IQ plays with the Rainmaker, okay? You just got to be a better than average and you'll be fine, okay? Even if you're average with the Rainmaker, that's good. Just don't be terrible at it, or just know what you're doing. You don't even need to be like 10,000 IQ. Also with Rainmaker, you can choose like slower weapons like a Hydra or something, but like you're gonna be moving around a lot. So I mean, it doesn't really apply to too many weapons, but like in Rainmaker, you're going everywhere. It's not like you're playing splat zones. Like you can just sit on point and just like chill there. You know, like you're gonna be moving around. You gotta change up. You know, one game you might be on this side of the map, but the time you're gonna be fighting a lot on the other side of the map. You know, and it just changes, and all the maps are the same. In general rule, if you just like hate a map and just don't play well with it, just wait till like the better map comes on with rotation. Like you don't have to play, obviously. Like you can just wait for don't wait for like the ones you're like, oh my god, I'm insane at. I mean, obviously, like just play if you're doing that. But if there's like 2 maps that you're terrible at, or even just one in the rotation, like just don't play, dude. Like it's just the maps are jank sometimes. That's just how rotation works. For splat zones, you can kind of do a lot of stuff with this. All depends on the map a lot of the time, but you can sit on point. You can like just kind of go in and maybe flank some gamers if they're on the zone. You can push up pretty hard with some other weapons. It kind of depends. That's pretty open. Quick turfing power is good because then like if a lot of people are dead, like you want to, you know, increase your time that you're using. You can, you know, make efficient timing after you get a kill or something. You know, you gotta do it. Obviously, you gotta get the kill first, or just paint the zone fast. We're not trying to use an Ely or 3K to paint the zone back up. Or 4K? Is that the other weapon? I think it's a 4K now. I don't know. I think 3K was Splatoon 1. Anyways, Some good subs for splat zones are going to be beacons. You can super jump back really quickly. You can get back to the zone really quickly. It really helps out. I mean, if your team does not have beacons and the other team does, like, they're going to get back to the zone so much faster. It doesn't matter like if you kill them because they can just super jump right back. Obviously, you want to check the map, take those beacons out because they're pretty powerful, and splat zones are probably the best mode. Most bombs are pretty good, but I would say squid beacons are kind of hot. Some good specials for splat zones are going to be any bomb rush. Suction bomb rush is pretty hot because it just, it just sticks there, obviously, and like you don't need to be like throw them in a certain direction with bursties. Inkstorm is pretty good, especially on like maps like Walleye, where you can just throw it straight and it hits like the whole entire zone and it gets like at least 50%. You just need to ink like a little bit. Obviously, some specials on some stages where they're like more linear, like Walleye, are going to be better for Stingray, but I mean, I don't use Stingray, so if you're god tier with Stingray, just use Stingray, I guess, dude, but I just can't. Booyah Bomb is not bad because if there's anyone in zone. Booyah Bomb is kind of just good for anything, except, I mean, it's a little more situational in clam blitz, but it's pretty good for most things because you can throw it in the zone and people will have to get away. Alright, so on to tower control. This is probably the hardest one that I have played in, actually. Maybe not, I don't know. It depends. I kind of got lucky with clam blitz, so tower control is not bad. Obviously, blasters are like the supreme, like, standard weapon here. Clash used to be OP. I think I got nerfed. I don't know. Clash is pretty good. Most blasters are pretty good. I don't really like the Luna blaster. It's alright. But you don't need to use a blaster. You can just literally, like, you don't really need to. People who usually ride, like, it's just good for hitting people who are on tower. Good sub is suction bomb because you can throw right on tower and it sticks there. Like really easily. You can just be anywhere and just be like, let me throw it on the tower, and sometimes it gets killed, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know the jank hitboxes of the tower. Sometimes it kills behind the post. I don't know. Good special is Stingray. It's not bad. Booyah is also similar to Stingray, where just like if you throw it there, like people have to get off or they're dead, unless they are like using a Booyah or they have ink armor. But even ink armor, dude, like you'll just get shredded by that. Ink armor is pretty good in most stuff. Just use it at the right time. Like don't use it if there's like 2 gamers left and you guys are like approaching, In tower control, you can either sit on tower or you can like move up and like clear the path for tower, like clear the choke points or something like that, like on Arowana Mall, like that, where that one checkpoint at the end where it's above those 2 like platforms. Like that's a big choke point because you have to go through and like the enemy spawn is right there and they can kind of just shoot down and like throw crud on you. So going forward is pretty good, clearing enemies out. Obviously, you're gonna have to, the more enemies, the closer you get, the more enemies you have to keep killing because like they respawn like pretty close. All right, last one, clam blitz. This one is pretty hard. I got to X just from like winning. Like I got to S, like I think I started at A when the game mode came out, and then I got to like S plus 1 or 2 and like won all the games, and it was just like, you're an X rank now, and I was like, okay, you're weird, but I guess. It's really hard to do X rank solo queue because there's like 0 synergy there. No one really knows what they're, people know what they're doing, but you can't collaborate and be like, you can use this way about, that's maybe it. But if no one has the clams or balls, then you can't, like, no one's gonna super jump to you because I don't freaking have anything, and you're just like, oh frick, dude. Yeah, you kind of gotta get lucky with teammates, but you can kind of just like somewhat solo carry with a brush. You can just kind of go around with the ink brush and zoom with it and just pick up and throw balls in, and maybe your team's there to put clams in, maybe they're not, whatever, you're throwing stuff in. That's kind of a bad strat for League though, because if you do, then you're just like giving your enemy team like just free pay clam balls or whatever. For clam blitz, a good special for clam blitz is going to be bubbles, because you can like chill in them and like no one can really hit you, and you can just kind of like approach. It's similar to baller, but baller can just like, you can just get shot down pretty easily. And obviously you ink your bubbles like more, like it affects your bubbles more than the enemies does. So especially like knowing what map you play on, whatever weapons you can choose at like synergize with the map like the most. Like if you're playing on Walleye and you have the hallways, you can have like bubbles, because then if you throw bubbles in the hallway, they'll just bounce back and forth, and there's a lot of like things the bubbles can hit off. So it's Bob Lobber is pretty hot on Walleye. That is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got any questions, anything you gotta ask down below, just hit me up in that comment section. I'll be replying to you, and just come by and say hello. Anyways, road to 700 subs, and I will see you guys somewhere else. Peace. Obviously amazing, and I think Waluigi in Smash would be better than that. So let's just talk about a few reasons of why he has a good chance, but there are some Duke chances. And like obviously right now, like if you think about it, if you ask me, I would say like probably not, but like I don't see